It's your man's Brandon Smith, and we are at the factory once again. Today at the factory, I got the GOAT, Neisha Neshae.
It's Neisha.
Yeah. So I met Neisha a long time ago, back when my studio looked like, I don't know, an abandoned warehouse. And yeah, we just started working. And you was raw but hungry, and like, you are one of the people that have made me like super proud and made me extremely like just, it's like you give purpose to what I do.
Thank you.
Because the stuff we did, it's like you went and like applied it, and then you didn't just like get better with me, you kept getting better. So what is your like, how are you able to keep getting better? Like, because I ain't seen you in some years and you still getting better. What is your regimen like? What do you do?
Well, first, thank you for giving me that head start on just even having the desire to be better. Because I feel like when I first started with you, I obviously was like I wasn't aware of how much growth needed to happen. So shout out to Brandon for giving me that, like, the push you need sometimes.
No doubt.
But, outside of that, I spend a lot of time in my creativity. Like, I have a studio at home, so, having that, like, limitless time to just explore and, try new things has helped me tremendously. And also just having that fire inside of me that makes me want to be better. I'm always, using the things I learned from you. Also, just looking at new things on YouTube and, applying those things to what I want to do, because I do want to be the best. I want to be the greatest at what I do. And the only way for me to do that is to keep, sharpening my skills. So.
And it shows that
Thank
you want to
you.
be the best, because I'm telling you killing it out here.
Thank you.
Like you killing it with the content, with the music, with the visuals, everything. Like what do we have to do? You know what I'm saying? To get Neisha to that national level, because like, who is messing with you?
Well,
You ain't gotta answer that. You ain't gotta answer that.
I wouldn't say that is anybody like specifically messing with me, but I do feel like, obviously God sees everything, and sometimes when you just have like not the right people around you or whatever, God gotta clear the way first. And also, I can't blame anybody else but myself. I feel like that's just what my mindset is. I might feel like there's people holding me up, but at the end of the day, nobody can stop what God has planned for me. So I just keep going.
Got you. So, from the outside looking in, we kind of never know what's really going on. So, like, where are you, like, exactly with your career, like, right now? Like, as far as, like, fan base, like, how can you put that into words, and, like, where you are, like, as far as, like, the hierarchy of your career?
So, like, at one point, I had multiple songs on the radio, like, maybe 10, featuring all these artists from the city. So, I did have, like, a peak time in my career where I was signed to Roc Nation and all these things. So I know like a lot of people have questions about what's going on, and so I did have a period of time in my career where I wasn't dropping music how I wanted to. And I am still in court.
You weren't able to.
Yeah, technically I wasn't. But now that's not really holding me back like it was. I am still battling, trying to get out of that contract, but I'm able to drop music. So
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm at, and just like redefining my brand and like really just, trying to walk in this new era of who I am.
Okay.
So
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So what is the brand? And I know it's hard to put brands into words sometimes, but like, what is going to be the new brand looking like? What is that going to feel like?
I guess at one point I didn't realize that what I'm doing as far as like, my creativity, making music, acting, doing the motivational speaking, that all of those things are bigger than me. So, at first I'm doing it, I'm like, this is going to get me to where I want to be in life, but I had to come back to myself and realize that I'm doing all of these things to impact other people and to change other people's lives. So when I started walking more in my purpose and not just doing music because I love to do music or, whatever the case might be, I feel like that changed the whole trajectory of my brand. So now I'm representing for people that are looking for a light or, need to figure out, or they're trying to figure out, like, I've been through a lot in my life. there's no way I could possibly come from where I come from and do these big things. And I'm here to show people that that's possible. You can come from, you know, not having a lot, or not having both your parents in your life, abuse, adoption, whatever the case might be, and you can still create a beautiful life for yourself if you find a passion and purpose, you know, to live for. So I feel like that might have answered your question. Hopefully I'm not ranting, but that's pretty much where I'm at.
Kind of, but like you saying, like, you know, like it's like a light, like you're shedding light.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me about this Demon Time song.
It's like contradiction.
Because I just really want to understand, like, you know, like creatively, what are we about to, what kind of niche are we about to be getting?
Yeah. So Demon Time for me is me tapping into that woman and creative in me that is like no longer seeking validation from other people.
Okay.
She's unapologetic, sexy, mysterious, and you know, I know God gave me a light to live for, but also gave me a darkness, which sometimes we have to tap into in order to show people like we're not to be messed with. So I feel like this is my room shaker. That Demon Time is like that. I step in a room and everybody's eyes are on me, you know, getting everything I want out of life and really tapping into my true power. So
okay.
I know people here and they're like, oh, devil worshiper. And I'm like making sure I go on these podcasts and I'm explaining to people, like, when you hear Demon Time, I want the girls to just embrace that sexy, or that side of them that society tries to, you know, dumb down a little bit. Don't be too loud. Don't be too, you know, crazy with your hair and your makeup and doing all of that. Well, we're free to do what thou will.
Right.
You know, and I just want to encourage that. So. Free
will. Demon Time was about free will. God gave us free will.
Mm-hmm. God did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Demon Time is not worshiping demons.
Not at all.
Got you.
I love God.
For sure. For sure. Praise the Lord. So you're like one of the rare people who can sing and rap at a high level, you know? Mm-hmm. Is there like one that you prefer?
I enjoy rapping a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like it's just more like free for me. I don't have to overthink it too much. I feel like I overthink my singing for some reason. I don't know why. I know that's my God-given talent.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's what it is. I enjoy both tremendously. And that's why I always try to keep a mixture of them in my genre. But, you know, singing is my thing.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know, it's my thing too. Okay, so I want to go back to where I was asking you, like, where are you, like how many fans do you feel like you have? Like, if you could kind of estimate, like, and then what does that look like as far as, like, money? Like, you know, like, you making a living off of this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so say I was a little delusional, and I took my fans from Instagram, which is like 200,000, my fans from YouTube, which is 100,000, my fans from TikTok, which is...
Hold on, let me get my calculator out here.
180,000. I'm doing the math in my head. We're at like 500,000-600,000.
Right.
With that. And that's not like my Spotify daily listeners or whatever. So I would say almost to 1 million fans. And that's just me gauging off of like my social media. And you know, like as far as the monetary side of things goes, I feel like that's all dependent on how capable someone is of taking these fans and being able to make them feel like they're spending their money on something worth their time.
And that someone is you. So what are we doing? How capable are you?
It hasn't been easy.
Okay.
You know, it's like...
Because this podcast is for artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is like... I really want artists to know, like, somebody of yours, like, what is it like? Mm-hmm. What is it like? What you got going on? Because everybody would love to be in your position.
Yeah.
But what is that position?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
they don't really know the trickles and trannies. So
right.
Like this, I've been doing it for about 9-10 years professionally. Mm-hmm. Haven't had a job since I was in high school working at Taco Bell. So that should speak volumes. But, you know, I do have my times where I'm like, dang, I'm finna, you know, get some money to pay these bills. But at the end of the day, you have to dive into all the things that are surrounding your creativity. So, for example, I have, like, subscriptions
Okay.
You can sign up for obviously merch that I
Okay.
sell when I do shows sometimes. Other ways to make money, like there's apps you can sign up for. There's an example of an app I use is called Cameo. So people can buy personal shout outs from me for $15, $20, whatever. It's little stuff like that that all, adds up to you being able to invest back in your brand. Obviously taking advantage of the social medias that are paying you, like Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, they're paying. So if you're not taking your energy and putting it into those social media platforms that are paying you, then you're missing out on money, especially as a creative. I think we just got into this time now where a lot of the money being made is based off of content. And I'm not used to that.
Right. So like on a good month, how much can you make from the social media apps?
Okay, on a good month, if I'm posting consistently, 2,000.
Okay.
And that's because they don't pay that well. I mean, they don't pay as good as people might think they are.
Right.
So you obviously have to be somehow getting features or bookings along the line. It's not easy. People think that you just wake up, make music, put it out, and then you're just like getting money. Like, no.
Look, everybody who watches this podcast, they know it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not.
There's months where I make not even, a couple $100s. So I'm scraping.
Right.
And that's just transparency.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm out here rich. I don't portray like I'm just getting all the money. Sometimes I'm up. I got 20. Is it?
Nice
Good time, and thank you.
It's real nice.
It was in a good time in my life.
Oh no, I'm just I was just on the swag can at the Pistons. I ain't tripping.
Don't hesitate. If you work hard for your money,
no doubt.
Do what you do, but always make sure you got money to invest back into your career. That's something I've learned. Don't splurge on stupid stuff.
Right.
Just to look cool. Cause this chain is nice, but it's just I could take this off right now and still be the beautiful, talented.
No doubt.
Good person I am, so it doesn't make much of a difference. But
no doubt. So, what do you feel like you could do better as far as like monetarily? Like, what could you do more of? Like, could you do better, more merch? Like, because I believe like artists should make clothes that people want to wear regardless of them.
Yeah.
Or statement tees that just speak to.
For sure.
Like
quotes.
This summer I'm on demon time or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom. So. What do you feel like you could do better?
Definitely more merch. Okay. That's like number one. It's just, that comes with stuff and like creating it, buying the website and the domain, and mind you, I'm doing everything myself. So like it's me and Sed, my manager, and then I have like a team of people that obviously assist, but it's a lot of work. So yeah, that's one thing I'm working on is more merch and also consistency, like posting more. The more you post, the more likely you are to make more money. So, also moving around more. I feel like it's important to get out of Detroit and get some demographics built elsewhere. So I feel like those are my main focuses right now is getting some good merch out before my album drops to go with Demon Time and stuff. And then also getting out of Detroit a little bit more.
Got you. So when you were signed to Roc Nation, what do you feel like you learned the most that you're applying now in your kind of independence?
Some things are just out of your control. I think that was like one of my biggest things I learned. I was so excited to be signed to a major label, I feel like I made it. And then all of a sudden they got a new president and dropped me. It wasn't like I could call somebody like, are you sure?
Right.
You sure you want to get rid of me? It was out of my control and I had no choice but to figure out what I'm going to do to move forward. And also it's important to not just sign to a label, but make sure you're signing to people that care about you. It's so easy to sign these big deals and feel like, oh, they're giving me a lot of money. They care about me. They want the best for me. And then they bench you. It's hard to get them on the phone. It's hard to email and stuff. So that was one of the biggest things. If I ever sign another deal, it's definitely going to be, a good deal and worth my time and people that I genuinely trust and feel like I can work with. So
most definitely. Do you feel like labels should come to Detroit and set up shop here and invest in the talent here?
Yeah, I do. I feel like why not? That's what they do pretty much anyways. Artists are leaving and then they're coming back and bringing the hype here. So it wouldn't be any different to have like a stationary label here to be like, for artists to pull up to. Some people have never left Detroit. So I think that would be dope.
Okay.
Maybe one day I'll start my own label. Who knows?
Okay, that'll be dope. So what is it like being a artist in Detroit? Specifically, like you kind of, you sing a lot. So, our Detroit don't really mess with singing like that.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. So what is that like?
I think it's just about taking initiative, to shine more of a light on it. It's unfortunate that it's not like as amplified as it should be. There's so many talented R&B artists out here, male and female. But yeah, I think it's just up to us artists that are already in some sort of position to just continue shining the light on it, and eventually the city gonna pick up on it, and they're gonna look back like, dang, I remember when R&B wasn't popping. We're gonna be like, yeah, it's on fire now. So yeah, I don't think R&B could never die, especially when it's good music.
No doubt. Yeah, R&B is never gonna die.
Yeah,
it's never gonna die.
Not out here, not anywhere. Just give them a little bit of time.
No doubt. All right, so let's talk about this upcoming album. What can we expect? What are the features? When we dropping?
This is my first body of work since 2017.
Hey!
I know. And when I say it, I'm like, how did I go so long? But it was necessary. It like I put a lot of time and energy and effort into this project.
So what was on the 2017? Was that crazy? Go crazy? That's been that long ago?
The last project I dropped, it was Queenin', and that was like 7 songs. And it was 2017 when I dropped that.
And what was the featured songs on there?
I don't think it was any features on there.
No, I mean like the singles.
Oh, Queenin' was like Love Life, Killer. I forgot what all was on there. It was so long ago. I don't even remember all the songs on there. But I'm looking now from then and now, and how then I was working with writers. I was in all different studios doing all that. And now this project is strictly me writing and me recording. So
at the crib.
Yep.
That's dope.
Very vulnerable.
Okay.
12. Yes, well, it's a lot of songs, but it's no skips. I'm talking about from the first song to the last. You gotta like find somewhere you can drive to for a long period of time and play every song. That's how
tell us how to listen to it, because artists, some people don't be knowing how to consume people's music. Tell them what to do. What we doing? We driving? We smoking? What are we doing? Like
you can do a little bit of all of that.
We parking, sitting at the lake.
All 3 of those
okay.
are very much for the vibe. Like anything chill where you're just trying to like, bask in the music where it's not too much going on around you. Those are the vibes. Sitting in the parked car by the water, smoking, in your house alone, meditating, whatever. But also there are songs on there where you could be with your family and you're like, look at my life, I'm blessed. We got the bops on there.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this project, and I know they're gonna eat it up.
Okay. Yeah, how you do that dance, Dylan?
Eat it up. Eat it up. We doing that before you leave.
Yes, bet. And so, what kind of producers? Who are the producers that you work with?
Oh boy, shoot. My most honest answer I can give you is I just let producers send beats to my email, and then I just pick them. I write down who made the beat as I'm recording the songs and make sure I have all of that organized, and then we reach out and get it. So there's like multiple producers on this project.
Gotcha.
I just wanted to work with people that maybe people don't know about. Producers need some light too.
No, that's real.
So yeah, I've worked with some dope producers. You will all see everybody's name and everything on the project. I can't tell you right now.
So these are not people that we may not know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably won't know them.
So you're literally putting people on.
That's my goal.
That's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to see everybody win.
Demon Time is the lead single.
For right now. I'm getting ready to drop another single that's on the project. That's called Untitled.
Oh, so Demon Time is not on the album.
That was just
That's just an in-between to get us.
You know how you spark a fire with the little rocks and the little stuff? It's like that.
Okay.
And then the fire starts with this new single. And then the project. So it's about to be a time right now. I don't think you know.
I don't.
But you're definitely going to be a part of all of it. When I have the listening party and everything, you got to be there.
We should do it here.
We should do 2.
One of them.
One should be at a club, and one should be
for sure.
more intimate here. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, intimate listening party here at the
Gotta do that.
factory, in the courtyard. Shoot, let's do a bonfire or something. I might burn my lights down. That's cool.
The demon time listening party. We gotta play demon time. But like, yeah, that would be fire. Yeah, but I'm honestly just excited. I've been reading this new book about having a positive mindset to create the life you truly desire. And so even when things feel like they're going wrong, you know, my lawyer fees is. I still keep a positive mindset because I know God is working in the background. He knows my heart and my intentions.
How many years you been paying lawyers?
5.
You've been paying lawyers for 5 years straight?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, what is the lesson here? Just talk to what is the lesson here?
You know what? Just always know what you're signing up for, what you're getting yourself into. Be knowledgeable. You know, when I signed my first deal, I was just turned 18. I'm 28 now. The lesson is just to be knowledgeable, and you know, and also don't let things like this, because they can happen to anybody. Don't let things like this detour you,
Right?
because that's what it was meant to do.
Right.
It was meant to make me be like, ah, fuck this music stuff. I mean, forget this music stuff, you know. And I'm not. I know that my purpose here is not to be anything but, you know, a light for people. So I do that through my music. I won't let anything or any amount of tax bills stop me.
I know, but shout out to you, because all the stuff that you've been through personally and professionally is enough to make anybody quit.
Thank you.
But I swear, if you quit, I quit.
Nuh-uh. No, see, then
If you quit, I quit.
for sure can't quit.
Because like you can't quit. You
can't quit.
Like, you really are one of the dopest artists I ever worked with, and you're one of the dopest artists that's come out of this city, this state, period.
I mean, I have had my times where I called, said, like, I quit.
Of course. I mean, everybody has that.
I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. It's too much. You know, I can't drop music how I want to. I can't do what I want to. So I was just like, I'm going to get a job. He's like, no, there's no way I'll ever let you do that. Like, and I believe him, because the couple of times I said it, he's like, no, it's just not happening. So, you know, I trust the process. We all have our days where we're like a little doubtful and everything, but faith always comes out on top. And so,
No doubt.
that's what's kept me thriving this long.
No doubt. So I watched some of your other interviews, and like the way you talk, like you're just like, it seems like you got a therapist on speed dial. Like you just, but I'm saying because you really know how to frame stuff and like deal with things like no other.
Thank you.
Like you really navigate all of this stuff like a champion. Like, have you ever had therapy?
When I was younger, like middle school.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I had a lot of things to heal, and like, you know.
Now, how was that? Did that mold you like how you think now? Or is it just like you just really just read a lot?
I read a lot, and I do a lot of self-discovery. Like, I do a lot of self-work.
What does that look like?
It looks like a lot of healing, unshedding, learning new ways.
Can you tell it to me like I'm a 5th grader? Because I would like if I wanted to do some self-work, what do I do like right now?
If you wanted to do some self-work, my task for you would be to go home.
Okay.
Go home and write a list of who you see yourself being 5 years from now, in detail.
Write this down, Dylan. Okay.
So for you, that could be in a higher grade if you're in 5th grade. Or...
She literally talking.
I'm trying to think in that perspective, like, because, you know, maybe I'll get that test one day where a 5th grader really is asking for my advice. Meditation. Lots of writing, though. I do a lot of writing. I have journals and booklets all over my house. Notes.
And you're just like writing like journal, like just getting stuff off your chest?
Writing affirmations.
Okay.
Tasks. Goals. Things I want to accomplish or am going to accomplish, because nothing is a want for me. It's all already mine. And also that changed my mindset a lot. You know, we're in full control of our lives, and we create, you know, our destinies for the most part. And so having that mindset, knowing I have more power and control, really changed my life.
That's real.
Being honest with yourself. It's not easy, you know. You have those. Sometimes it makes you cry. You know, when you're going through that healing process of unlearning old ways, learning new ways. Seth has said a lot that I have done a whole 360 change. I don't know if he said 360 or 180. One of those numbers.
I think that would be 180, right?
180.
The opposite.
180. So, and I'm telling you that literally came from me just going through a lot with relationships, meeting new people, and also being alone. Spend a lot of time alone. I enjoy it. Because you learn so much about yourself. You know, there's a lot of things I wouldn't have known about myself 5 years ago that I know today.
But some people are terrified of being alone. Like,
yeah.
How did you find the bravery to just be and just sit with yourself?
Doing it time and time and time again.
Okay.
Just got to keep doing it, and you get more and more comfortable with yourself. It's like it's like meeting a stranger. You guys go on your first date. The first date is a little, you know, this is cool. The energy's there. This is cool. But like the more you hang out, the more you're like, okay, the vibe, you know. And so that's what it's like hanging out with yourself. You know, at first you're a little, you know, like, oh, this is uncomfortable. You know, I didn't know that this triggered me. Or I didn't know, like, this is why I act this way when certain things happen. Sometimes it's hard to admit that. And so you just find more confidence in being with yourself. And that's what I've done over time.
Man, that's what I need to do. All that stuff you writing down, I'm doing it, Dylan. I'm doing it.
The self-discovery journal.
Going on a date with myself.
As you should.
Yeah.
Date yourself as often as possible. Food, movies, anything.
I'm going to see Sinners by myself.
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
I won't tell you. It's good.
I haven't. Yeah, I'll be up here, you know.
It's good.
Okay.
I mean, also, honestly, artist development helped me tap more into who I am, too.
Oh, that's what I was hoping you would say.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was lost back then.
Okay.
I was 100% lost. And I'm able to look back at old performances and interviews and be like, okay, you know, I know where I was at that time. And I can look at me now and see how much work I've put in. So, you know, more confidence on the stage, more confidence when talking to people, when walking in rooms, and just carrying myself overall. Like, the classes helped me a lot. And maybe it took me a while to realize that. I can be honest about that. Like, maybe at first I didn't realize, okay, these classes have changed me and helped me grow, you know, until a few years ago. And I was like, oh, that's how I got better. I'm like, I took those classes, which a lot of people aren't even doing nowadays, by the way.
You can tell me. You ain't got to tell me. Yeah.
I don't like it. I feel like people need to take the classes.
No, for sure. For sure. Like, Detroit need, like, just as far as the performances that go on here, Detroit needs to step it up big time. There's a lot that has to happen before you get on that stage, and artists are not doing that.
And it's no shade. It's just really about having that, you know, about you. You want to be different. You want to stand out. You want to be the best.
You got to have a will to want to entertain.
100%.
You can't just look at it as an opportunity for you. This is supposed to be an opportunity for them in the audience, you know what I'm saying, to like become fans for life. Like, and you create experiences and moments. You ain't gonna be able to do that without artist development and without sitting down and producing a show. You know what I'm saying?
One of the things you taught me that will always stick with me is the look people in their eyes rule. I didn't used to do that when I perform. Now I do it, and I feel like I make so many more fans when I'm performing. Something I always stick to code. Like, I make sure I do the eye contact, couple seconds, everybody. You know, I learned that from you. Like, the go.
No doubt. Like, do you feel like, because like most adults I talk to that have had phones for 10 plus years feel like they have ADHD.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way about yourself? So, like, I've tried to meditate. And then next thing I know, I'm thinking about McRibs. And then, you know, I'm thinking about like I wonder what the bottom of my car looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Like how like teach me how to meditate. How do I meditate and block out all of this, you know, all of this noise that I be like feeling and hearing and seeing?
Well, it takes practice. You know, you can't. Some people can't just meditate the first time and then like silence everything out. It takes repetition.
Okay.
You know, to be able to do it. And then also it's a choice. So while you're doing it, you have to be able to catch your thoughts. So if you are sitting here and you're like clearing your mind, you're trying not to think about anything, and then a thought comes in, you have to push that thought away. It's a choice.
It's a choice.
You know, the thought comes in, you let it just pass by, and then you empty your mind again. But it all takes practice, and also your environment. You can't be in this bright ass room with all these lights and all these people around you and think no thoughts are gonna come in.
Okay.
You know, find yourself a peace area in your house, in your room. Dim it down a little bit. Maybe turn on some low meditation music. Everybody does it differently. For me, I used to always, my mind be going a million miles an hour. Take me 10, 15 minutes to really get into my meditative state.
Because like we're like the most woke we've ever been as a society. Mm-hmm. But I still don't know what meditation really is. Like, do you know what meditation is? You do? You? Yeah, it's like we're woke, but how do I not know this? So when I am able to like clear all my thoughts, what should I expect then at that moment?
Clarity.
From a thought?
You don't have any thoughts.
Wait, I don't understand.
So you don't have any thoughts, right? So that clears your mind and leaves room for new ones. Ones that are meant to guide you in a different direction, so like, give you ideas.
Okay.
What your next, whatever it should be, you know? So you're clearing out all this cluster, whatever. The best time to meditate is really in the morning.
Okay.
Or right before bed.
Okay.
When you don't have too much going on in your mind.
To me, it would probably be before bed, because in the morning, it's just too much stuff I got to get to.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Unless you got up a little earlier to meditate.
I would fall asleep.
While meditating?
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that. If you go take a yoga class and they put you in a meditative state, you're more than likely going to fall asleep. You should try that. Maybe that should be your first meditation.
I'm not trying to snore in public.
I'm not a snorer, so.
Oh, nah.
That's funny.
I was told I snore. I've never heard it, but I was told that.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't look like you snore. You don't look like a snorer.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
I don't do snoring, though. Like, if a man snores, we're probably not going to work. I need my sleep.
Yeah.
Or we need separate rooms.
Yeah, I probably snore. I think I do snore. Yeah, I snore.
I'm actually thinking about doing a class soon, like a little fitness class that incorporates some meditative things. So.
Okay. So let's talk about your fitness journey too, because that's been crazy. Like, you used to kind of be like a stick.
Yeah. No shade.
And now you like borderline rhyme with stick. You know?
Thick.
Yeah, like that's crazy. So, and you were working with Shane, right? You still working with him?
I don't like me and him are still cool. We'll work out here and there, but I've been working at this boxing gym.
Oh, okay.
So I took up boxing like a year ago, and so that's changed my discipline. And you know, also I was like in a really toxic relationship a couple years ago, so that made me lose a lot of weight. But neither here nor there. Stress will be a life-changing factor if you allow it to be.
Right.
And I feel like I let a lot of things in my career get to me. And so I stopped putting my health and stuff first. And that's what caused me to lose all my weight. Like, people were saying, oh, she's using drugs now. And I'm not a drug user. I might smoke a little weed here and there.
Right.
But I don't do, you know. If stress is a drug, then they're right. Because, you know. But yeah, just being disciplined, getting it. I've always been athletic. Like, if I didn't do music, I probably would have been a professional basketball player.
Straight?
Yeah, I'm cold.
Well, let me see the jumper form.
Okay. Do it while I'm sitting.
Oh, you definitely got Cat Williams beat.
Yeah, no, eating all day, okay? So, I love working out.
That's a nice form.
It helps me.
That's a nice form.
Thank you. With my artistry, too, like, I have more wind when I'm singing, on stage when I'm performing, just getting my cardio up and stuff like that. And also, I want to be 30 and fine as ever.
No doubt.
I don't want to be 30 and skinny like this.
Got you. Yeah, we should go hoop.
Last time I hooped, I rolled my ankle so bad.
We should get an R&B, a celebrity R&B hooping
That would be fun.
event.
Oh, that would be fun. We should do that.
Because the R&B artists, they don't get together enough. I don't,
Yeah.
you know? It's like y'all are not like the rappers.
We're
Why is
separated a
that?
little bit. Also, I do think a lot of the R&B artists are just now kind of coming to the forefront. Some of them were just now discovering, you know. There's obviously been a lot of them, but I don't know what the disconnect is. Oh, sucks. It's a good question.
Do you feel like that's something like you could like take lead on?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a leader in this city?
I am a leader.
No doubt.
Not only in my city, but in my career field, in the world. Like, God put me here to be a leader. So, you know, even though I'm not too big on just collabing with anybody and
Right.
hanging out with just anybody. Yeah, if I feel like people are passionate and we would be a good collaboration, I'm very much open. Hit your girl up. Let's work. Hit him up. Let him know you want to work. Let's work.
Yeah. Yeah, go through me. You know? We said a rampage, you know?
Yeah. Put it together.
So let's just say if 10 R&B artists in this city just started just like going up,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like that would help you at all? Just if the whole state of R&B in this city just lifted, do you feel like that would help you in any kind of capacity?
Yes and no. Yes, because I mean, obviously, I do R&B, so it shine a light on my R&B side of things. And no, because if I'm not putting in the work personally, and you know, building my own foundation, then it doesn't matter what anybody else does. Nobody will know who I am. It's like selling pizza but no toppings.
But you are going to put in the work.
Absolutely.
So basically, I'm just asking, is there a benefit in people coming together to try to like lift the genre up for the greater good of everybody?
100%. And I think that's what it'll take. Being more of a community, you know, even if it's not an instant putting someone on or like it's, you know, sometimes things take time. But I do think over time, if we all gradually start collabing more, doing more content, doing shows and stuff like that, it definitely help all of us R&Bers.
No doubt. So we're approaching the end of At the Factory.
Oh
Yeah. So you got any parting words? You got anything else you want to say about the project or any shout outs?
Shout out to everybody that has been supporting me since the beginning of my career, all my fans, my team, my friends, my family, God, Brandon. If you are an artist and you're watching this right now, my advice to you is to just make sure that you're diving into discovering who you are. And, you know, it's a never-ending process of self-discovery. And sometimes you'll lose people along the way that don't understand your new levels, that might not be aligning with where you're headed. But have no fear. Continue discovering yourself. And don't be afraid to try new things. Also, if you haven't done artist development, make sure you tap in with Brandon and get you some classes in so that you can sharpen your skills and become the greatest at what you do. Coming from a goat. I would never do an interview with you.
That's gonna be the opener.
Word to your mother.
Yeah. So, you know, like she said, you know, we talked about a lot about life, just, you know, because if you don't manage your life, you can't manage your lifestyle, you cannot create a lifestyle that supports your professional career, then it's not going to work for you. So Neisha Neshae is a living testimony of just literally making sure every aspect of her life supports the dream, the vision, and allows her to continue and to have that upward mobility. So that's why she's the GOAT. On top of everything else, of the talent, it's literally like that's what it is.
The mental.
No doubt. We at the factory, and we out.
We at the factory, baby.